Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM, streaming live on the web at WLCNonline.com. You can follow us on Twitter at WLCN Sports.
And we're back.
And we are back. We are at the Hampton Inn. Scott Kirby, Joe Ryan,
There's no
Jake Johnston.
Or anything.
Nothing.
Hampton Inn.
We're in a sound room.
We're in the conference
I can't believe
room.
they gave us another week of this show.
They keep asking us back, and we don't even blink eye.
Especially for the money we asked for. I can't believe they came up with it.
And well, you guys just show up and boom, here we go.
We're ready to roll.
That's what we do.
We don't do a pregame. You know, we
Well, now that you have these itineraries made up for us, we're all good.
I'm impressed with you.
I work late, you know.
High caliber stuff here.
And I'll tell you what, hats off to the Hampton. This is nice.
This is nice. You know, This is where all the big dogs go.
This is.
When there's a conference and, you know, the big wigs need to discuss things, this is their conference room.
So why'd they put us in here?
This is a big deal.
Because they didn't want us out mingling with the guests. So
that's exactly why we're
They push us back here in this room, so we'll leave everybody alone.
We're going to have to take
We will take a commercial break here in a little bit. We got the wrestling coach at the high school, Dustin Dietrich. He's going to stop by.
Justin.
That's what I said. Justin.
Well, you've said a few funny things on the air, but I think what you said there was Dustin. We can go back.
We'll go back. I think Lloyd has us on tape.
Here we go. Dustin, Justin.
It doesn't matter.
We got his last name right, Dietrich. That's all that matters.
And he coaches the high school here in town, right?
Here in town, yes.
Gotcha.
Over there on Railer Way. The Railers.
Big Cub fan.
We'll talk a little bit of Railer football last night. Had to lead there for a while. So that was pretty exciting. So we'll discuss a little bit of that.
That's interesting.
Another interesting week of baseball. A big series down in the Lou.
Wow, yeah.
Cubs, Cards.
Yeah.
Cards take the first game. Cards, yeah. I'm not even nervous, fellas.
Not nervous.
It was a good game last night. Lester gave up a run in the first, and Cardinals kind of opened it up there in the eighth. But no worries. We didn't expect to sweep them. Cardinals they won 100 games for a reason. They're a solid baseball team, so we'll see what happens today.
It was a fun game. I mean, leading up to it's been fun too.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
This is the most excited I've been for a baseball game since probably 2011 when. 2011 when Game 6, I'd say.
Something I've noticed, there's not a whole lot of trash talking right now because they know this is good for baseball. You got the Cubs, Cards playing in the playoffs. It's never happened before. Two rivalries in the past, kind of building that rivalry back up again because Cubs were kind of irreverent. You know, they didn't matter back in the past. So, got to have two good teams to be a rivalry, and Cardinals have owned them, but now the Cubs are, getting good, and it's getting exciting.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
What do you think about, Joe? You got that look on your face like, I want to say something.
There we go. You were saying
Cub hat in.
Yes.
You were saying there's no trash talk. I think there is trash talking going on.
Well,
I think a lot, but most of it isn't from the Cub fans. They're there with the team year in, year out. I think there's a lot of these fair weather fans that don't know much about baseball. They don't pay much attention to baseball, and they're chirping in as much as they can.
Probably couldn't name 3 people on the team
from any year. And because they're in the playoffs, well, they're their favorite team right now. And which is fine. I mean, but if you don't know enough about it, then Cardinal fans are going to chirp back.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, and Cub fans are just as annoying as Cardinal fans. But you know what?
Yeah, we're all.
There's a lot
fanatics
of annoyance out there.
Speaking of Cub fan, we have Justin Dietrich in with us this morning. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning.
He's got his Cub gear on. Yeah, I like that.
You ever been called Dustin before?
Plenty of times.
Apparently, you just were a little bit ago, but I don't believe I did.
We can check the tape.
I want an instant replay.
We're going to check the video.
There's a lot of good kids out there.
Right now. Yeah. Good morning, Justin. Thanks for coming in with us this morning. How long have you been coaching Railer wrestling? And did you grow up in Lincoln?
No.
No?
I went to Olympia High School.
Went to Olympia.
Yep. So
never held that against you.
No, thankfully enough. But, I always tell people you can't necessarily choose your public school, but you can choose where you work. So don't hold that against me.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, and how long you been out there coaching?
I've overall been coaching for, this will be my 6th year. wrestling.
Don't look at him because he don't know.
This will be my 6th year coaching wrestling.
6 years out there. The wrestling program is really starting to take off. It's starting to become a popular sport. What do you have going on now? You got wrestling season's about to kick off, or do you have kind of a open gym for these kids to kind of come in and get them acclimated to the program, or what's going on?
Yeah, right now we've got, so any guys that aren't in football or cross country or soccer, guys that aren't participating in a fall sport, we encourage them to get out, and right now we're going Tuesdays, Thursdays after school just for a little bit, and like you said, just to kind of get them acclimated and give them something to do here in the fall and keep them busy. And just get ready for the season. We'll be coming up here in a couple of weeks. We start our youth program will be getting started, and then shortly after high school and junior high. So
now you talk about your youth program. Walt Landers is very active in that. I know you guys have a big thing, and is it in December at the high school where you have like 1 million kids come in and wrestle? That's pretty neat.
Yeah, we've got if anybody's ever seen it, it's kind of interesting. We do the high school has a JV tournament on the first Saturday in December, and then we leave the mats out, and then we kind of retape them and redo everything for the youth kids tournament. And I don't know the exact numbers, but I think Walt could tell you, but typically we get 400 to 500 kids in that gym on that Sunday, and they're all ranging from like 5 years old at 30 pounds all the way through.
It's all right.
I mean, if you just for the entertainment value of it, you need to come out and take a look, because it's a lot of fun. So
and like you said, you go out there and you got these little kids. I mean, they look like little sausages rolling around on the mat, and you got grandma and grandpa over there just yelling, going crazy. So it is a popular sport. I've never been around wrestling. They didn't have it in my school. What would you tell these kids these days, as far as, some kids, they don't play football, they don't play basketball. Wrestling's more of a one-on-one sport.
Definitely.
What would you tell these kids today, just to get them maybe interested in coming out to the wrestling team?
Yeah, whenever I'm talking to kids and trying to get guys out for the team, I'm always telling them, first off, I mean, even if you are an athlete in these other sports, it's a great way to just stay active over the winter, stay in good shape. You can increase flexibility, increase strength, and
self-confidence.
Right, self-confidence. I mean, there's some people don't like this about it, but it is what it is. It is, in my opinion, it's true accountability. It's when you're out there on a wrestling mat, you can't say, well, he didn't pass me the ball, or the ball bounced, took a bad, our coach didn't put me in. I mean, it's you out there, and some kids and some people love that part of it, and some people don't. But it's true accountability, because you're when you win, you're out there by yourself, and when you lose, you're out there by yourself, and it's I've seen kids go 0-25 throughout a season, but I always
had that before.
But I always tell them that I'll always respect a kid that can do that, because it's tough to continue to keep grinding and keep going through. But there's a lot of good success stories where kids make it through their first season or so, and they learn a few things, and then as they continue to grow and they just keep working, I mean, that's what the sport rewards, is it's hard work. So
you talk about the Rayleigh Rumble thing, man. Some of my favorite times in life was back when I took my boys to all those meets. We'd go all over the place, different places, and spend the day, and they would might wrestle 3 times, but we had the day together, and got up at 5:30 in the morning and got home at 5 at night. It was fun, though. Yeah, it helped them in all other sports. So
and it's and like I said, there's all the way through, but it's a great way to, and we have such a great community here. I mean, Lincoln has a great history for wrestling. I mean, it's pretty cool to go in that mat room and see all the names all the way back into the 60s, from when Floyd B started this program, to see these guys that their names are up on the board, and all the guys that have been all conference all the way throughout. You've got pictures of state qualifiers off to the side.
You built a nice little office in there. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, we did that last year.
It's nice.
Now, what is the prototypical wrestling athlete? Do you look for speed, strength? Obviously, you're dealing with freshmen, sophomores, so that strength may not be there yet. So when you go into coaching these kids, what are you looking for as far as their what they can do? Is it speed? Is it strength, agility?
I mean, a little bit of everything. But what I've learned, and because I have been coaching wrestling for over 10 years now, and the one thing I've learned to like try and look for kids is like look for kids that have a little bit of an edge, you know, like kids that are, there's some kids I see them bouncing off the hallways as they're coming down, and I'm like, that kid, I'm gonna go talk to him, you know, like somebody that's got their engine is always going, you know, and those are the types of guys that sometimes, you know, and as a teacher, even some of those kids that are fidgeting the whole time, you know, and having a hard time sitting still in class, those are good guys to get in. Also, like, and I've always attributed, everybody thinks like, well, let's get football players out, and that's right. We need those guys. Some of the best wrestlers end up being like cross-country runners. Because, and I mean, when you run, you know, when you start getting tired, you have that moment of, okay, am I going to slow down and back off, or am I going to keep going? And that's, I think, always a good indicator for wrestling if you can continue to push through that wall. So
now you talk about the history of Railer wrestling. There's been a lot of kids recently that have had some success and went on to college to, you know, continue their wrestling career. Could you go name some of those kids? Like, I'm not real familiar. I know, was it Haferkamp? He went on. There's some others in the back of my mind there, but just kind of go.
Lawrence, I think. Yeah.
Sorry.
Jason Lawrence.
Yeah, Jason Lawrence, Coach Lawrence, who was coaching with us.
We had him on last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he was with the football players, right? The alumni football players. Yeah, Coach Lawrence, he went off, and he'll give me a hard time if I don't get all this right. So, but he wrestled in Lassen College. It was out in California. Right? Yeah.
It was Rex Branham to Lassen?
Yes, that is correct. He wrestled out in California for a couple of years, and then he came back to Eastern and wrestled at Eastern for a couple of years. I know he had a lot of success. He wrestled with Matt Hughes, the guy that was
UFC.
UFC MMA a few years ago, and several other guys locally that are big names. And then and right now it's kind of cool that Eastern is trying to get that wrestling program reestablished right now, and I'm not for sure if they're getting it going this year or not, but it's neat to see that. And then like you said, Nick Haferkamp is another one who he just graduated I don't believe he's graduated yet, but finished up his senior year last year in wrestling, and Nick is just the poster child for what you want to show, you know, like high school wrestlers, like this is what you can do and this is what you can become, and he's a great ambassador, and I don't know what Nick's plans are after he gets done with college, but I know he's going to stay with it. So
What? My employee Teresa Riggins is actually her mom. His mom works for me, so I've heard every Nick Hefferkamp story there's been since he was about 4.
Well, let's hear one.
No. Good kid. He's smart though, man.
Yeah,
strong. He's strong.
Well,
like you said, has a motor that just doesn't quit.
He is.
He's one of those kids that fidgets a lot.
He's the first. Whenever I think of that, he's the first person I think of.
Yeah.
I mean, always going.
Nonstop motor and extremely intelligent. Mm-hmm. I mean, book smart wise too. He's just extremely intelligent kid.
So if somebody, you say, as long as they're not involved in a fall sport or. It's during basketball season, you know, wrestling. So do you have any, like, 2-sport athletes where you can do both, or you just kind of have to focus on one?
And it's, more at the high school, it's more difficult to do that. You know, I mean, typically, you know, in the winter, you're either going to play basketball or wrestle or swim. But at the junior high level, those seasons are kind of a little bit more spread out, and I know that even last year we had a couple of kids do that, and we promote that. I mean, it's all about, you know, just especially even before high school. My recommendation for parents and for kids, like, just get out and find out what you like, you know, find out what you like, find out what you don't like, and then you know. So.
And that's a problem with kids today. They want to focus on one sport, you know. Yeah. Well, when you're 7, 8 years old, your sport might be football. Yeah. But when you're 9 and 10, you know, it might be baseball. You know, so get out, play all the sports, and try out wrestling.
Right. The big thing for wrestling, you know, and I was just reading an article on it last night. You know, is you've got guys like me who I weighed 100 pounds dripping wet when I came into high school. So, you know, I wasn't a football player, you know, and now I had wrestled, so I wasn't going to be playing basketball. But for guys that size, you know, hey, this is a sport that you can do and you can succeed in because you're going to wrestle 100-pound guys, you know, or even bigger guys, heavyweights. You know,
how many classes are there in wrestling as far as weight?
High school, there's 14 weight divisions.
Oh wow!
And it goes all the way up to 285, and and so for the even bigger guys, you know, that linemen. I mean, there's tons of literature on why linemen should be wrestling. Yeah,
those upper class weights, they could probably get pretty brutal, don't they?
Yeah, and I mean, it's all about hand fighting and balance and strength, and I mean, and even agility. Actually, to tell you a funny story about Seth, a few years ago, we're at a team camp.
Seth Gleason, we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, Seth Gleason. Big Seth. And he actually is the most flexible big guy I've ever seen in my life, and he can do the splits. And he weighs right now, he's every bit of 290.
That's
and
funny. He
can do the splits. And a few years ago, we're at a team camp, and if anybody follows the wrestling world, Kyle Dake he broke records a few years ago in college where he was a national champion at 4 different weights over 4 different years, and he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And I mean, this guy's like 23, 24 years old now. He'll be wrestling in the Olympics next year. And so he's putting on this camp up in Bloomington last summer, and we were playing this game, and it's called Human Tug of War, where you're trying to pull a guy across the line to you. And Seth had been playing, and Seth had done the splits, and Kyle Dake goes walking by, and there's like 600 kids in this gym. And he goes walking by, and he sees a 280-pound kid doing the splits, and he stops. And so this kid's going to be wrestling in the Olympics next year, and he stops, and he's like, "You can do the splits?" And Seth's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, here," he's like, "I'm going to play Human Tug of War with you." So he's like, "All right." And so they start playing, and last spring, Kyle Dake broke his leg, and he had to sit out of the World Trials, broke his ankle. And the first thing that Seth does is let go of the kid's hand and grabs the kid's ankle and starts pulling on that broken ankle. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, my heart drops into my stomach, and Dake instantly goes, "Stop, stop, stop!" He starts screaming, and I'm like, "Seth, let go!" And so all I'm envisioning is, you know, in the entire world, Kyle Dake is very well known, and I'm envisioning like him standing off to the podium while, you know, Russia and all these other countries are getting gold medals, and Dake standing off to the side. But thankfully enough, Seth let go, and he kind of limped off, and I was pretty nervous there for a little bit, but he's wrestled since, so I think we're okay.
That's the competitive nature, you know. The kid doesn't care. I don't care if this kid's going to Olympics. He wants to.
Oh yeah,
here we go.
And you know what? Seth is that way, and that's
good.
You know, I'll give Seth the plug. I mean, we're excited about his season. I mean, he's going to be a senior, but I was looking at the board the other day, and I'll say this on air, and I've talked to Seth about it, but our goal is to get him down to the state tournament this year, and I believe that he would be, if he gets to it, he would be the first heavyweight since Coach Dave Clem, which I believe. I don't know what year Dave would have graduated, but probably mid-70s.
75-ish.
I don't mean to date 76. Him, but yeah.
He's getting old.
Yeah, but
I know he was on the 75 team.
Joe doesn't have a problem with it.
He's still big. He's still big and mean though. So.
Yes, he is big and mean.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, I mean, that would be a really big deal for Seth to be able to make that point.
He's doing a good job for us in football, obviously.
Yeah. And the thing I love about Seth, he's a great leader. He really is. He's really turned into a really good, mature kid, and he's the type of guy that you want in the mat room. And in these last couple of years where we're trying to build a team atmosphere in wrestling, Seth has been a big part of that for getting that through. So,
Coach, let's move on to you're trying to establish a booster club right now, get some funds going for the program. You want to tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do and how people can get involved?
Right. So this coming Wednesday, I believe is October 14th, this coming Wednesday at the Knights of Columbus at 5 p.m., we're going to meet, and it's really still just informational. We're still just trying to do a lot of groundwork on all of it and get this thing going. But 5 o'clock Wednesday at the Knights of Columbus, if you're interested, come on out. Even if you have a kid in the program now, if you used to have a kid in the program, if you just want to be a part of something, you know, you're a business owner and you want to kind of find a way that you might be able to get involved, or that you might be interested, or you might have a son or daughter interested in wrestling, it'd be a good way to come in. And but what we're doing is we don't really have a quote-unquote booster club really at any of the 3 levels of wrestling in this town, either youth, junior high, or high school. A lot of the times what ends up happening is just maybe each individual program might end up with one. And so what we're trying to do is, why come up with either one per program or something like that, and why not let's join one, because we're all working together anyways, and especially in wrestling where, you know, we don't have, you know, as many people involved as, you know, basketball or football or baseball or something like that. So why not combine all our powers? And because honestly, between the 3 programs, we have high school parents helping out with youth stuff. We have youth parents helping out with high school stuff, and junior high parents helping out with high school. I mean, all 3 levels help each other anyways, and it's really, like I keep telling people, we're not trying to create more work. We're just trying to organize it a little bit and help people, you know, like kind of give us all moving towards one direction. And right now, the good news is we have such good support at all 3 levels. There's 3 or 4 great families at every level that are interested and involved in this, and people that we know, they're at no matter where they're at in their life, as far as whether they have kids wrestling or not, they're still going to want to be a part of it. And something that someone brought up a week ago or a couple weeks ago at our last meeting was, you know, maybe somebody can't always donate financially or anything, but if we start having a meeting once every other month that somebody wants to come to, and, you know, maybe they just kind of want to see what's going on behind the scenes of the wrestling program, that this is a good way for them to get involved, you know, or that, you know, some people just want to be involved that way. So I think it's going to be a good thing, and it's honestly, it's going to be another way to get people involved and participating, and another way to get people talking about wrestling and in that regard. So
good stuff. Were you a wrestler?
No. I've wrestled many wrestlers, though. I think your Springfield High coach, I beat him a few times.
Oh, yeah, well, Berger. Yeah. That's not saying a whole lot.
You listen to that? I hope you can't get this over there in Williamsville.
He's got the internet.
Sherman, where's he at? Sherman?
Well, Berger, the interweb on Berger, it might be lost on him, so he's a little bit more of a cave.
There's another successful Lincoln wrestler, you know, went to the U of I.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a stallion.
Yeah.
Now he's the head coach of Springfield.
Have you ever seen the movie No Country for Old Men?
Yes.
A few years ago, the real creepy. It's a serial killer movie.
Yeah,
it's a creepy movie. Go look at Matt Berger's 1974 picture and tell me that they didn't pull that movie off that guy.
That's good.
Berger's an animal.
A little bit weird. All right, Coach. Anything else you want to kind of throw out there before?
There was just a couple real quick meetings that we do have coming up. Coach Walt Landers this Tuesday is going to be having a youth informational meeting. So anybody interested in youth wrestling, which would be, I believe it's all the way down to 2nd grade, 7-8-year-olds, all the way up through to 8th grade at 6 o'clock at the high school cafeteria. Practice is going to start on October 19th, and they'll go from 6 to 7:30. Those will be on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then for the junior high, Coach Dawson said that he's going to have a parent meeting at 5 o'clock on November 24th for any parents with a junior high kid, which would be 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And to be honest with you, I think there's that program, that's where we've put a lot of our energy and trying to reach out to a lot of people. And the junior high had 42 at their informational meeting the other day, and now, that's exactly what we need.
The junior high, is that just District 27, or does all the junior, like say you're from Chester East or, you know, WLB?
Yep.
They don't have wrestling programs.
Correct.
Do they filter in with the junior high?
They co-op, yes. So the Central Chester East Lincoln kids, West Lincoln Broadwell, and you'll have to forgive me because I can't remember all the junior highs.
There's a bunch
any of those kids. So if you're in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and you want to be a part of a fun, good program, and we went out to a Lincoln Youth football practice the other week and talked to all the football kids about getting involved and getting active and getting interested in that sport. And the next day or the next few days, we had 42 kids at the junior high meeting, which is huge. And this is going to be the year to get involved, because our junior high, in my opinion, our junior high program is going to blow up this year. I really think they could have 3 or 4 state qualifiers, and there's a lot of good families there and kids that have been working hard for a long time, putting in time. And they Alex Bodanich, Trevor Bree, Tony Gandolfi, all 3 qualified to state last year. And then you've got several other kids, Austin O'Donohue and some other kids that are going to be coming back. And I really believe that with that group, when those guys get up through the high school, we're gonna be making some noise. So I'm excited.
Good. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
but again, we're excited about this year for high school, because pumped. I got a lot of good guys coming back, and we're trying to promote like a fun, exciting style of wrestling to watch. And if you go watch University of Iowa wrestle, that's what they're going after. And so
well, Coach, I think this is the first time we had you on. I don't know why.
I've called in.
Talked to you on the phone a couple
I've called in last year at sectionals. But
okay, well, we'll get you in again when the season's going.
Last question we have for you: can the Cubs come back on this? Or
absolutely. Not even worried.
That was. Oh, I'm not either. That was a frustrating game, but it was a baseball game.
It was a good game. It was a good game. Going in the 8th. They left Lester in just because they had to. I mean, we weren't hitting Lackey, and we weren't going to hit.
And
you're
a baseball coach too. Used to be, right?
Yeah, used to be. And it's gonna be a fun series.
Absolutely.
And irregardless, I'll say this, irregardless of what happens, you Cardinal fans have to be scared right now for the next 10 years, because the tides are turning.
And money changes everything. That window's not 10 years long.
They could both be at the bottom next year. Money changes everything.
They
but
just
I will
signed,
tell you,
Cubs have a lot of it too.
Yeah,
and they're not.
I'll tell you right now,
it.
if the Cubs beat the Cardinals, I'm going to borrow a hat from you, and I'm a Cub fan. I hope they win the whole
I got
thing.
a hat for you.
If they beat the Cardinals, if they don't, then okay.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So I do believe that they're going to put some pressure on them, if nothing else, this series.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Justin. Thanks for stopping by. We'll keep in touch. And
you got a phone number you want to throw out if anybody wants to ask questions? You want them to call you? You want to call school?
We'll call the school. Yeah. We'll call the school. I do have a Facebook and Twitter page for wrestling.
There you
go.
So
our Rayla Wrestling Facebook, and then Twitter at Rayla Wrestling.
That's our
main man.
That's our IT guy right there. So he's got
give us a follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep up with us over the season, and
we definitely will. All right, Justin. Thanks for stopping in. That's Justin Dietrich, the Lincoln Railer High School wrestling coach. Stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats on 96.3.
Join the happy folks who choose.
Oh, boy. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM.
I tell you, it's hard on the audience.
I don't know how they endure this hour of torture, but I tell you, that's
they invite us back every week.
Wrestling program on the up. Very excited. Look forward to seeing some big things from them coming up. And
a lot of good kids.
A lot of good kids.
A lot of good kids out there. Hey, as we move along, I didn't have it still on the itinerary, but I will make sure.
Well, this is my itinerary, so if I didn't know what you're talking about, I wouldn't have put it on here.
Well, before we got carried away, I wanted to throw Ryan Thomas out there. He made the sectional
golf, yeah.
And it starts at 9 a.m. out at the Elks, and he'll be teeing off at 10:30. So,
nice. Well, that's
good
not
luck
on
to
here.
RT.
Yeah, that is not on here.
No, that's why I was going to throw it in there before we got carried away with everything.
That's not my fault. That's Lincoln 18, whatever that is.
Just go ahead and throw somebody else under the
bus. Okay, you've messed up a few names, said some words that were
not appropriate, really.
You've never messed up.
Maybe if my crew would show up before we go on air, we could do.
Oh, hold on.
We could do
now you have a crew.
I guess we're just. His under.
This is my crew right here, because these are the people I always see.
Oh, so they didn't show up. They weren't here before.
No, they were here.
Oh.
But you two guys just walk in and expect, we got to do some research. We got to get that bond before we go on air. It's just not happening.
Football's over.
I thought that's why we do this group chat thing we're always doing.
Yeah, I thought that's why we had that, so that we all understood each other.
Well, our schedules are not all on the same page because you're in bed by 9 and up at 5.
You're right. I go to bed early.
And my phone's going off at 5:30 in the morning with stuff from last night. I get confused.
Yeah,
I don't even know what goes on half the time. Yeah, it's not hard.
Oh, boy.
I don't know who's talking to who.
It's hard on somebody.
It's tough.
It's like a Las Vegas hotel for you here, isn't it?
It is. Yeah,
spin you around. And
it's like
you're going to Caesars.
It's like The Hangover. We don't know what happened. We don't know what we're doing. Some other high school sports going on today, fellas. Girls varsity swimming and diving. They're at the Urbana Invite. Yes, Lloyd, that's inside. Boys varsity soccer.
I might have pictures.
You're diving into a bucket of ice. Boys varsity soccer, they're at the Jacksonville tournament. Girls varsity tennis, they're in the Central State 8 tournament. Girls freshman volleyball, they're in a Lincoln tournament today. So get on out to Roy S. Anderson and root those girls on. Boys and girls varsity cross country, they're over in Metamora for a meet over there.
You did a good job with
that's what's going on. Now, there's usually football on Saturday mornings, but we don't have is it JV that plays on Saturday mornings or freshmen?
Yes, freshmen are supposed to play on Saturday mornings.
So we don't have enough to fill that squad because
No, I've said that backwards. The actual JV games will be on Saturday mornings. Okay. We don't have enough sophomores, so we have kind of a freshman schedule going on. So play on Monday nights.
All right,
so they'll play Monday night, 6 p.m. over in Decatur.
Tell us a little bit about the game last night, Joe. 38-8 or something like that. What was the final?
The kids came out and played actually well. We had the lead there for a little bit. It really came down to speed. They had a quarterback that would just he'd take a snap and run everybody off and look around, and then he'd take off running. And we caught him a few times. We got some turnovers. We had him throw into some interceptions, but he killed us on some big plays. The big runs kill us. So, and that's just, everybody wants to know why we can't tackle, why we don't tackle well, blah, blah. But, the kids, we don't see that type of speed every day in practice. You don't get to practice against tackling speed.
Right.
So then when you go see it, everybody's going a little faster than they are in practice. So, and they're good athletes. They just made some plays. And there you go.
That's what it takes.
But the kids played well last night. I thought they had it all going on, and I really was hoping they could get one last night. They were positive. They were focused.
Well, that's good. This late in the season, you got to keep that positive attitude. You don't want to see them quit on you because that's when people start getting hurt. Finish the season out strong. Whatever happens,
They didn't quit on us. They played hard last night. They played with some confidence. They had that look in their eye that that they were in this game, and they were. Just the big plays got us.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, we got a call? Oh, yeah, we're going to take a call. Go ahead, caller. Is this on? Hello. You there?
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
And we're back.
We're back. Go ahead.
Is it coming up?
Who we have here?
Hey, hold on with us here a minute. We've got some technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's on.
Oh, now
okay. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, yep, go ahead. We got you now. Our producer is
he's sleeping over there.
It's hard on the show.
Who we got on here? Who are we talking with?
That's Coach Bass.
Hey, Coach Bass. How's it going today? We were just talking about the game. We were just talking about the game last night. Give us your take on it. Joe's saying the kids are playing hard, and they had that eye, that look in their eye before the game with the confidence, and that's what you want to see this late in the season.
Yeah, I thought we were a lot more determined last night. I thought it was a game that the kids truly believed that they could compete in and have a chance to win it. We just couldn't get out of our own way. We made way too many mistakes, most of them at pretty critical junctures of the game, and we're just not at the point where we can overcome those type of mistakes. But the overall belief, it was nice to see that out of the kids. We've talked with them as coaches. I felt that there were some other games earlier in the year that I thought that we can compete in that maybe they were a little bit unsure of. But last night pregame, you could tell those kids knew that this was a game that we not only could win but probably should win. So that was good to see. That was a step in the right direction. But we've got to be able to clean up our mistakes.
How many games left in the season, Coach? 3, 4, 2?
We got 2. We got
two?
Jacksonville this week for senior night. I think that's another team that we match up with very well. They're very banged up, especially up front, and they're athletically pretty much the same as us. Similar type of community, similar type of size, similar type of speed. So I think it's a good matchup for us. Hopefully we're amped up for senior night and can give the seniors a good chance at a win for their home finale. And then we close out with Lanphier on a Thursday night on October 22nd. And that's another team that I think we match up with pretty well. I don't think they're dramatically better than Decatur and MacArthur. So hopefully we can get one of these final 2.
Hopefully. You said that's a Thursday night game?
Yeah, Thursday night game.
Is that something throughout the whole conference or just...
Generally, one of them plays on Friday, one of them plays on Saturday.
Okay.
That's the final weeks of the season, and all the games got to be done by Saturday. We have to play on Thursday. So
okay, I got you.
It's an interesting year to play 2 Saturday games on a Thursday. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
Coach, I thought the defense actually had some. They hit well last night, had some turnovers. I just kind of wanted to see what you thought about how we did last night on defense.
Yeah, defensively, we forced a lot of mistakes. We missed out on a couple of others. I thought we probably had 2 other chances at interceptions. One of them was probably a sure touchdown that we missed out on, but it was good to see the forcing of the turnovers. We forced, I think, 3 or 4 of the fumbles that we didn't get. I think they had 3 fumbles roll out of bounds, kind of fortunately for them. That's just the way the ball bounces sometimes. Our tackling was kind of hit and miss. I thought there were some series that we tackled extremely well, and then there were a few plays where when they got a guy in space, we missed a few, and they got some extra yardage that they shouldn't. But overall, defensively, I thought we played very, very well. It was good to see. Defensive line did a pretty good job. Linebackers had some pretty good moments. Secondary, especially Titus Cannon, had a great night. So that was good to see. So, I mean, there were a lot of positives to take away from last night's game, and hopefully that's something we can build on.
Absolutely. Titus Cannon, only a sophomore, so you're going to have him the next couple of years. That's good to see a sophomore step in there in a varsity level and have a solid defensive game.
Yeah, if you look at our overall production last night, defensively and offensively, pretty much everything was done with sophomores and a few juniors. So, I mean, we've talked all year about how young of a team we are and how bright of a future I believe that we've got, and I think that really showed out last night. I mean, you look at Titus as the main example just for last night. I mean, we had a lot of guys play well, but Titus with 2 interceptions. He had 20 yards rushing, threw a touchdown pass, had 44 yards, I think, receiving. So did a lot of great things, and he's a very talented player and going to be a very good player for us going forward. Nathan Pudnight was a big part of our offense last night. He's only a junior. Kyle Crabtree was a big part of the offense last night. He's only a junior. You look across the defense, I don't remember who had the other interceptions, but we had a lot of other young guys that were in the right position. So the future's bright. We just got to get them in a full year of weightlifting and get their confidence up a little bit. And I think the next couple of years are going to be pretty special for us.
Well, good deal. Coach said you have 2 games left. Senior night this Friday against Jacksonville. How many seniors do we have on the squad this year?
This year we've only got 11. Next year, unless we get a couple other guys to come out, we'll have 11 again. So we're the core of our team is very, very young, but I'm very proud of these 11 seniors. I hope the community will come out and support them and thank them for the years of service to the football program this Friday night. And I've been very, very proud of them this year. Their attitude's been great. I think they see the big picture of what we're trying to do and realize that it's been tough with them with only having 11 of them left. Anytime you only have 11 seniors, it makes it very, very difficult to match up against teams that have 20, 25, even sometimes 30 seniors. But they've had a very good attitude that helps lay the groundwork for our program, and they're ensuring that the program is going to be moving in the right direction for several years. So we really hope the community will come out and support them and thank them for their service, because it'll be an emotional night.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for calling in. Probably got some work to do today with the kids, film, and get ready for that senior night next Friday with Jacksonville. So good luck to that. Hopefully we'll have a good showing and, show those seniors, our respect and kind of wish them on their ways.
appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. That's Coach Seth Bass with the Lincoln High School football team calling in this morning. We're going to take a commercial break. We come back. We're going to wrap up the show. We're going to talk real quickly baseball and real quickly football. So stay tuned. You're in the Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM. Name that group.
Smithereens.
No. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I've never heard of them.
It's
tip of my tongue?
My tongue?
I've never heard of tip of my tongue.
Is that a European
Fits,
name?
yeah. Fits in the Tantrums.
If you're the band, you
you
love a final countdown.
I would have never received that message.
Jim's still whistling it. Welcome back to the Cheap Seats, also known as The Voice.
And if you're still listening, thank you.
The Voice, American Idol, the After Years.
Stop it.
Baseball going on today, fellas. We mentioned earlier the Cardinals beat my Cubbies.
They did.
4-0 last night. Great game, great pitching game.
A lot of talks about the strike zone.
You know, I wasn't going to say it. But seeing how you brought it up, and it was like that, and at the Pittsburgh series too.
You know what? I don't think it. I think people are blowing it a little bit out. What station is that? TBS or whatever. Their strike zone is way off.
You know what they need to do?
It's way off.
Eliminate that box. Get rid of it.
You could have that box. But that box is way off.
Well, I think another thing is
and it's on both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the width of it.
The camera.
I think the umpire was pretty consistent on both sides of the plate. I just don't think Lester was going out on the edges of the strike zone near as much.
Yeah.
I think he was more down the middle and making a swing and miss.
It was deceiving, and I think a lot of it had to do with the camera angle from the pitcher, too. It was off to the side a little bit more. And it was like that in the Pittsburgh game, too, where it was off to the side. You just didn't have that judgment, because you're off to the side a little bit. An inside pitch looks like it was really inside where it was catching the corner. But
if you look,
I agree with doing away with the box.
Get rid of that box, because that just causes controversy.
I don't know. I like box.
Well, it's kind of informational.
I do. I like it there. I don't know.
I think ESPN has a better box than TBS.
I mean, some people are picky about their box. But
well, it's yeah.
Anyway, I enjoy the box.
Yes, you do. The Rangers are 2 games up over the Blue Jays. They win last night, 6-4. They
had a small box in that game too.
It's all taking a turn.
It is downhill. Royals beat the Astros last night to even that series. As we mentioned before,
that was
Cards
a good game.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a real good game.
I didn't watch it.
I'll tell you what, that Texas team, they're fun to watch too right now too.
Well, how about the Mets jumping on the Dodgers?
The Mets, all over Dodgers. Kershaw, is he 0-6 or 0-7 now in the playoffs?
Well, I don't know. I didn't check his record, but
I think his playoff record's not good. Not good.
Well, they should have pulled him before the 7th inning last night. I mean, he was showing some fatigue, but then who they bring in? I mean, their bullpen's not stacked. I mean, it's
well, this is a Mets team too that started the year. They couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
No,
they had
just
solid,
hung into it.
Solid young pitching. You got Harvey, you got DeGrom.
Yep. Made some solid acquisitions there in the middle of the season.
You pick up Cepedas, and now their hitting's coming along. Their pitching's solid.
They got Uribe too.
Yeah, their bullpen may be a little suspect, but if you get to them, right. So the Mets, that's a team to watch right now. Besides the Cubs.
Well, don't sell out on the Dodgers. No. Yeah, they still got Greinke to go.
Yeah, you got Greinke going today.
Yeah.
So that win, but he's going against the Syndergaard. Syndergaard's been pretty solid. He's 9-7 on the season. Young kid, young pitcher. How's he going to react in a playoff atmosphere? They're at LA. So we'll see. It's going to be 2 good games. The Cubs, Cardinals, that's a 4:30 first pitch.
I predicted the Cardinals were going to lose this one.
Well, we got Hendricks on the mound.
I predicted. I think.
If he can get us
game, if the Cardinals have troubles with the guys that aren't top line starters, and a lot of times they don't hit them.
We have to win this game, Dad. You can't go into
You don't
Wrigley.
have to win.
Yes, we do.
I don't know.
Wrigley's going to be a tough place to play.
Wrigley is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
You hope the wind's blowing in against their hitters because they have a little more pop, in my opinion.
Well, last night,
home run guys.
St. Louis had some pop. Pham comes in, hits a homer, and then
we got some kids that can play too. I mean,
yeah, you guys got some young talent too. But it's going to be fun today. 4:30 for the Cubs Cards. 8 o'clock for the Mets Dodgers. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun series.
This whole playoff, man. I mean, honestly, I enjoy watching a lot of these teams playing right now. Texas and Toronto, they're a little chippy up there, you know.
And this is a time, I was wanting to talk baseball Thursday morning, but obviously we only have a Saturday morning show.
I was surprised I wasn't hearing you on our little chat thing.
Well, I was going to, but I was pretty confident Wednesday. I knew we were going to win that game. I don't know. It's just that it's a different Cubs team.
I didn't feel like Arrieta was that strong. I mean, he was good.
He didn't have his best stuff.
But he got hit hard in a couple innings and a couple great defensive plays behind him.
That was a fun game to watch, too, simply because the Cubs were just shutting them down.
Well, I tell you what, if that ball got by Bryant, Pittsburgh won the game.
Yeah. He came in from left field and
he came in
right off the bat. The ball found him.
That ball was smoked.
Why is he playing in so far?
I don't know, but it was smoked.
How do you have time to react to something like that?
Well, he's a Major League Baseball player.
Boy, I would have taken it off the face.
Well, yes.
It hit me in the face before I even knew.
You didn't have a chance to play in Major League Baseball.
Looks of it, you've had a few hit off your face, haven't you?
And that's why I'm sitting here with you two.
On radio, not on radio.
Yeah, not on TV. They tell me to wear a hat, too, so what's that tell you? So some exciting baseball going on. And real quick, we got football. Bears at Kansas City. Bears beat Oakland last week.
The Bears.
Your Arizona Lions taking on the Detroit Lions, who should have beat Seattle last week.
He's going to say he didn't say that, too.
What did I say?
The Arizona Lions.
No, I said Arizona taking on the Lions.
Okay, you can defend yourself, but once again, Loin will make you.
Loin?
Yeah, Loin gave this.
Anyway.
And we're back.
We are back. As I was saying, the Arizona Cardinals are at Detroit Lions.
It's a big game.
Did you guys know that rule? Be honest with me. The Detroit Lions Seattle rule where Calvin Johnson fumbled it going into the end zone. Seattle guy batted it out of the back of the end zone. I guess that should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
Do you live under a rock?
No. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about the penalty. Yeah,
Did you know that rule?
No.
I didn't
either. If you fumbled it out of the back of the end zone, then it's first down the other way.
Because what are you taught on kickoff return? If the ball comes to you, if you can't get possession of it, what do? Hit that thing out of the back, out of the sidelines. Well, you can do that because they never had possession or something. I don't know. But the rule is that.
No, I would not have known that rule. Yeah, it was all kind
and neither did the officials. You can't bat the ball. It's illegal batting of the ball. Should have been Detroit's ball.
Is there such a thing as a football bat?
I tell you what, I think football needs a box.
They need a box with the rules in it.
We know how you love the box.
But anyway,
we've been down that road.
Yes. Should have been a penalty. Should have been on the 1 yard line. Detroit would have won that game. They didn't. Seattle goes on to win. And we got
big win for Seattle too. I mean, they were needing it.
Yeah. And Tampa Bay and Jacksonville. Predictions there, Lloyd. Tampa Bay. Points at the hat.
That's a bowl game, isn't it?
I think I picked the Jags in that one.
Yeah. Tampa Bay's in real trouble.
That game might be 3-0.
I think Jacksonville's pretty good. 3-zip.
Yep. So that's going to do it for our sports show today. Fellas, any other tidbits, nuggets you want to pass along? Anything interesting? No?
No.
We didn't even get to NCAA football.
Well, we've been busy.
Yeah, it was a good show day. Justin
Dietrich on.
Justin Dietrich with the Lincoln Railer Wrestling. He's coming on. We're going to try to get Walt on in December before they're little big. They're big. They're big. They're little little wrestlers. Big little wrestlers.
They look like little sausages out there. rolling around.
Rolling them around. And
look at them. Wee.
They do.
Go sports.
Oh, boy. Next week we're gonna be up at your place next week. Joe Ryan.
We're doing it from the pool.
Yeah.
Do you have a pool up there now?
I got a pool up there at the office.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing it at the office.
It's a waiter.
Are we inside or outside?
Waiter. Depending upon the weather.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna dress?
Let's try to go outside.
Are you gonna dress your mannequin up as a waiter?
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we drove by the other night and Tammy's like, "What is that in the window?" I'm like, "That's Joe's mannequin."
Yeah. Hey, we did have a lady scream out loud that walked by.
She's like, "He's weird."
It was Joe.
He's weird. That was actually Joe. Join Big Daddy Jim from the Lincoln Country Morning Show Drive and Jeff number 2 from the Classic Rock Experience on Friday, October 23rd from 11 to 1 for a free lunch.
How much?
A free lunch.
Oh.
Free. Free.
Ooh.
It's free at Alexander Lumber's Custom Appreciation Day. I don't think that's how you spell
custom.
Say that word. And I nailed it. Customer Appreciation. That's not how you spell that. Day beginning at 10:30. Lots of vendors.
And I nailed it, he said.
Huh?
And I nailed it.
I could have tried to pronounce that.
You overachiever, you.
I did. I nailed it. You don't want to miss this event. As always, check out these broadcasts on Channel 5.
You don't want to miss this highlight clip Lloyd's going to put on the Facebook page.
That's right. That's right. We're done. Cue it up, Jim.
Dr. Goodham got that.
Hey, run him out of there, Guggenheimer.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Bugs Bunny? He's pointing at his phone.
Uh-oh. One moment.
Hold on. He can't even find the song now.
Nah, I got nothing.
Oh, yeah. And before we leave, we have to thank Kayla and Robbie from Hampton Inn.
Oh, yeah.
They put all this breakfast together.
Oh, yeah.
Their Jeff number 2 comes out every Saturday. They take care of him. They take care of us. So if you're ever at the Hampton Inn, make sure you tell Kayla and Robbie thanks for all they do. They were going to come on air with us, but they said they can't control what they say.
Or what you say.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, we're having trouble with that.
Yeah, we are. We're going to have to do something about that. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Cheap Seats on 96.3 FM.
Good day.